A few hours ago, Twitch streamer Emiru dropped a Twitch stream about 2 hours long, and she went over some accusations against another streamer and former partner of hers, Mizkif, who used to be a head of OTK and for the most part one of the most popular streamers in the world just 2 or 3 years ago. And she brought to light some accusations against him, saying that he was stalking her, harassing her. He was committing sexual harassment, sexual abuse, and then just straight up abuse at times too. And these are some big allegations. And she made a 2 hour stream. I want to say over half of it, a little over half of it, was talking about these allegations. The other half was talking about the TwitchCon incident, which I'll go over more details of the entire stream later. But before we get started, I do want to let you know that you need to watch, and you should watch her stream. You should watch her talk about this issue, her talk about the TwitchCon stuff and the Mizkif stuff. It's very clear that no matter who you watch, the reactions will not be, the breakdown certainly will not be as detailed and go into the depths that Emiru hoped to have gotten across to all of us. And any clips that you, or and even I, before I watched this, the full stream, I saw on Twitter or anywhere like TikTok, did not break it down near as well as she did, and near as make it look as bad as it was, and really just showcase how terrible of a situation she really was in. So for the past about 2 hours, I've been watching the stream. I had heard about it on Twitter. I saw some clips and I said, holy shit, that is fucking insane. I've, after like 2 or 3 clips, I said, I have to watch this stream. I've got to see exactly what Emiru said. And I need to know, I'm just curious, right? I'm so curious. This is such crazy things to say. The context is there, but it's still crazy to know without the full context. So after about 2 hours of watching it, I went from downstairs upstairs. I took a quick shower. As you can see, I've showered. My face is red with my rosacea. Thank guys. Thanks rosacea. But I finished watching it, and where do I even start? Again, watch her stream. Watch her 2 hour stream. I mean, it seriously is something that we should probably watch, because at this point, obviously, Miskif hasn't dropped a reaction or a response to it. It'd be kind of crazy if he already dropped a response. Um, but it's damning. I hate to say it, but it is very damning. Obviously, you can't just go take one side of the argument and say, "Oh wow, he did this. He did this for sure. He's guilty. Hang him." But this is something that Mizkif has done before with his previous girlfriend Maya, and also defending another former, I believe, OTK member, or maybe not OTK member. I forgot if that old situation in 2022 was that, where he basically tried to cover up sexual abuse and assault back then. Um, but it is insane. And before you ask, I'm not going to include any of her clips from the stream, because I do think that no matter what I say or what clips I put in, the context I give it will not be the same as the context that Emiru put in her Twitch stream. So again, I reiterate this in the most vehement fashion. Please go watch her stream and hear what she has to say about it. It's a woman that has clearly gone through something, that has gone through abuse, has gone through mental turmoil, and just terrible things that no one should have to go through, especially someone that tried to give this person a chance and a chance and multiple chances up until the beginning of this year, really. All right, now with that out of the way, I want to start with a mini breakdown just to kind of go over what I saw, in case anyone just hasn't watched the stream, or I know people don't want to watch the stream, but again, they don't want to watch it. They're here for a breakdown. So basically, where it starts is Emiru starts the stream by going over the TwitchCon incident where she was sexually assaulted by a random Twitch viewer, and kind of breaking down where this goes. Basically, how Twitch isn't working with San Diego Police Department to identify him and give up the name, saying they need a warrant to not risk being sued. And I mean, I guess when it comes to company procedures, a lot of companies do this, and it's not just Twitch. Twitch isn't the only one, so let's get it straight. Twitch is not the only one, but for Twitch, it's exclusively different than a lot of other companies, because their platform, their whole marketing is live streaming. So when something happens on a live stream, such as sexual assault, it's very clear that the demand for this information to come out is instant. It's a necessity, and it's of a crucial time crunch as well, because TwitchCon is a few-day event. After TwitchCon's done, people they come from TwitchCon, fly their ass home to wherever the fuck they go, And at that point, it becomes much harder to find anyone who did this. She breaks down later in this whole segment that someone apparently identified this guy. They saw the guy who actually sexually assaulted her at TwitchCon, and the guy said, "Oh, I've got to go to Texas. I'm leaving. I did some bad stuff at TwitchCon. I'm going back to Texas," and because Twitch wasn't cooperating with San Diego Police Department at the time and without the warrant, it's assumed that he did go to Texas. Obviously, Emiru's manager eventually demanded Twitch hand over the name. Twitch finally did after I believe a week or a few days, and I guess they're going from there, seeing what they can do, just waiting. She emphasized also, especially that it's a waiting game on that end. So I guess she'll update everyone when it comes to that point. But then she rotates pretty quickly into the Mizkif stuff, where saying the most recent interaction with Mizkif was Mizkif interacting with one of her employees, if I'm not mistaken, at TwitchCon, threatening, saying that if you or anyone or Emiru brings up anything that I've done, I'm going to destroy her career. I'm going to make slanderous lies about her. I'm going to say she killed her animals. And Emiru does go on a point on her stream saying that he's going to threaten to use her dead bunnies as an example that she kills animals and try to ruin her career over it. Again, if this is true, and she drops a lot of screenshots. Let's just say that a lot of these screenshots that she says are proven on her stream. So I don't want to be the guy that just throws him to the wolves and says, "Oh, it's obviously true," but damn, dude, she's 4K, got you in 4K. But we'll start at the beginning. Basically, it starts back in like 2020, if I'm not mistaken. I remember that's when it first started, where she was moving from her first house to move in with Mizkif because she said she needed a roommate. Mizkif offered, and then they became roommates. They streamed a little, they became friends. They chilled. She joined OTK, and a few months in, it started getting a little abusive, where he would throw water, like plastic bottles and sometimes metal bottle or glass bottles. I mean, and then even phones, and it. She would try to forgive him, yada yada, all that. Eventually moved on to the point where they became partners, were partners on the low, even though people eventually did find out, and it progressed through about 2 year, a year maybe, and didn't really work out because he was mentally abusive, he was emotionally abusive, and he was physically abusive more so. And she goes into great details breaking down everything that he had done and everything that she alleges that he did over this year and year and a half since. And after this all went through and they eventually, she talked about splitting and then moving out, it didn't end because Mizkif would keep messaging her and trying to get her to, control her stream times, control her other access, and also guilt her and blackmail her into not saying anything and still trying to be friends and trying to do all this stream stuff together, but also at the same time make sure that she didn't do certain things. Like one of the examples she brought up a few times was streaming on the same days as Mizkif. Mizkif did not like it when Emiru did, so Mizkif said you can only stream certain days. That's why she says she only streamed Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays when she was with Mizkif, and also even after she left Mizkif and moved out. So that was like one example of the emotional manipulation and abuse that she had went through, but also the physical, because again, it was regularly stated that Mizkif would throw stuff at her and then also coach her up to say, "Oh, I don't hit you, I don't do anything bad to you, so don't tell any other streamer or people that I do that." And it comes to the point where she also brings up a story that because Mr. Beast didn't have Mizkif on as a streamer on his video, while she was in his car, he started speeding up to great speed, saying, "I'm going to take you with me in a, crash style event." And that's really disturbing to just say to someone, regardless of who they are. They don't even have to be your partner. They could just be a random person. They could be your best friend. And saying that is fucked up, right? But after they broke up, and a lot of what I really took in was after they broke up or after she moved out of the house, he would still try to manipulate her and still try to blackmail her. And even threatened to stalk her, come to her house, and do a bunch of stuff to her. How he was emotionally abusive even after they had separated. It comes off as Mizkif. You're such a weirdo. Like that's how it comes off. Like beyond weirdo, it is genuinely damning. It is really damning. Because the last story that I'll tell, and then again, please watch the stream yourself. Anything that I say, it doesn't even compare to how Emiru says it, how she breaks it down, the stories she tells it. Please watch the stream. You need to see it. But Emiru breaks down one event where it was a week after she had moved out from living with Mizkif, and she was on her couch. She was crying because she was very upset about the whole situation, how it turned out. And then Mizkif came over, and he had sat on the couch next to her, and he was like hugging her, hugging to the side, kind of like that. And within maybe a minute or 2 minutes or so, I forgot the exact time frame, he had tried to slide his hand in her pants, and he got on top of her as he was trying to, you know, he's trying to go. He was kind of trying to go. She screamed, and he jumped off, and he left afterwards. But that's sexual assault. That what she said there, she alleged that he sexually assaulted her. But like, I heard that. I saw a clip about that on Twitter is where I first saw that, and I was just baffled. I was disgusted. And what makes it worse, in my opinion, too, in this situation, is because this stuff has apparently already allegedly happened to him. Maya had accused him of similar things before, where he was emotionally abusive, somewhat physically abusive, and I don't remember the exact details, but something along the lines of similar things that happened to Emiru as well. And the worst thing was when he also defended a sex offender. That was a terrible look. No one thought it was good, and he stopped streaming for, I don't know, 2 or 3 months because of that, which, fair. He defended a guy that was outed as a sex offender. That's not a good look at all. That's a terrible look. And so now that it's being lobbed onto him, saying that, well, actually, you are also as well a sex offender, it's not a far stretch of the imagination to assume, well, if you defend the guy that is, and you have these allegations that you also did it to your other public girlfriend, Maya, well, maybe you did do this. And those are, again, these are accusations. There are no full proofs, although she did show screenshots. Again, full proofs has to be determined by like a court and anyone, but the court of public opinion is where it's going to be really decided here, because regardless of what legally happens in this case, again, she did say she got a lawyer, so she's handling all this through legally. And if Miskif tries to blackmail, then I assume we're talking LeBron taking an alley oop over Jason Terry type of shit. It's gonna be legal slam dunk. Um, but assuming this stuff is going to go down to the court of public opinions, like it is, this could be career ending. An accusation like this could be career ending, but no less to a guy like Mizkif, who has already had these problems before, who has undergone these same problems 2 or 3 times already. How are you going to undergo them more than once, right? More than once is nuts. But 2 or 3 times, and now with one of the most popular woman streamers on Twitch, forget woman, one of the most popular streamers on Twitch in general. That's gonna be career ruining. And I didn't like Mizkif. I always get a weird vibe from Mizkif. The OTK was weird, but man, I mean, I had hoped in the creator sphere, the Twitch streaming sphere, that something that like, people would just try to be not the worst humans they could possibly be. Obviously, greed comes into it, but this is beyond greed. This is sick. This is evil. And if this is true, wow, brother, wow. Okay, you gotta go. You probably gotta go, man. But again, I don't want to try to lob blame or say that, yeah, of course he did this. It is me reacting to what Emiru said. But she showed some proofs of things that he had done, some calls, some messages on Discord, some other texts. It was pretty damning just from the stream alone. But again, please, you need to watch her stream. You need to see her say it from her mouth and hear and see all the pictures and screenshots she pulls up and the stories, because then it's on you to at that point make the decision of, oh, do you think Mizkif did it or didn't do it, and do you think the proofs that Emiru shows is enough for you to say, yeah, he did it, or no, he didn't do it. But anyways, I thought I would break it down and summarize it for people, and truly, hopefully, direct people to the stream. I'm gonna link it down below the VOD to the stream if I can. Please watch it. It's a great stream. Not a great stream, but it's an informative stream, and I think people should be watching it. But yeah, anyways, I hope you guys have a good night, I guess. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe down below. See you guys in the next one. Bye bye.